I'm Larry King. With me today is Dr. Rav Laitman. He has a PhD in philosophy and Kabbalah, professor ontology, and doctor in medical bioethics. He's been published more than 40 books, translated into 18 languages. Thank you for being with us. What is Kabbalah?
Kabbalah is a science. It's not a religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It's a science that helps us understand how the world is built and how it's governed by the upper force of the entire creation.
Is it part of Jewish theology?
It's not a part, it's the basis of all Jewish theology. It's a science that comes to us from Abraham, who discovered it, and through all the generations it came to us. For thousands of years it's been hidden, and only recently, say in the last 200 years, it's being revealed.
Would every rabbi agree with what you just said?
Rabbis? They might not agree.
Why not?
Between Kabbalah and religion, there's a big difference. Those who engage in Kabbalah go on a parallel lane to religion. They're not religious, they're Kabbalists. A Kabbalist is a researcher. He studies according to the wisdom of Kabbalah and opens up reality. It develops within additional tools for perception of reality, and accordingly, he discovers the actual reality and lives in it. He doesn't believe, he knows. The wisdom of Kabbalah says we have to open up the whole of reality, even the part that's hidden from ordinary people, and live in the whole of reality. And this is what the people of Israel should open up, as well as teach the rest of the nations. This is why it's written that we have to be the light for the nations.
What does the word mean, Kabbalah?
Kabbalah comes from the word lekabel, to receive. Meaning, I receive all the information, the science that exists in reality beyond what we discover in our five physical senses.
So many Jewish leaders would deny it. Why?
No. Let's put it this way. Abraham discovered it in Babylon. He organized a group from the Babylonians and taught them this wisdom, which is built entirely on love your neighbor as yourself. By that, they became detached from the rest of the Babylonians and moved to the place of Israel, to the land of Canaan. Following Abraham, his school progressed through his students, and that's how it continued until the ruin of the Second Temple some 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, at the time of Rabbi Akiva, instead of love your neighbor as yourself, where they treated each other well, unfounded hatred erupted between them. And then they fell from the perception and sensation of the upper world to the sensation of this world only, like us. Since then, it's been considered that they are in exile. And that's when the troubles began, and the whole world began to hate us, specifically us. That's the source of anti-Semitism that appeared in the world.
You are worried about anti-Semitism increasing? You worried that anti-Semitism is getting worse in the world?
Oh yes. I'm both worried and I know why. Because our world is approaching a state that existed then in Babylon. It's approaching the state where on the one hand it's becoming a single global village where everyone's connected together on the outside, but internally we push each other away through our own growing egos. Our egos are growing on the one hand and push us away from each other, but the global world, the forces that govern us, push us toward being together. And we are in between those two conflicting forces. So the world is going through very tough states. And in such states, the nations of the world turn to Israel and blame Israel for the state of the world. And it's true. We are to blame for not being bringing to the world the good force. According to the wisdom of Kabbalah, we have to do that.
How does he get better?
By beginning to love one another. That's the only way. And the wisdom of Kabbalah explains how to do it. I have about 2 million students worldwide, Jews, non-Jews, from every country, including Arab countries, Germany, all kinds of countries. And we have these relationships. It's possible. If Jews would get along between them and would give an example to the world of how to maintain a state of love and unity, the whole world would love us immediately too. Because what are they saying, the nations? They're saying the Jews are causing all the troubles in the world. Meaning, by that, they admit that we are so powerful that we can cause harm to the entire world, that they are dependent on us. And it's true.
That's envy. It's jealousy.
Yes, but it's true. And the good state of the world depends on us, and Jews don't understand it. So all of the anti-Semitism is coming only to compel us to finally connect, unite. And if we would unite just a little, we would immediately feel from the nations a different attitude, a good one.
Do you remain optimistic?
I am both optimistic, but I do ache. My heart aches at the possibility of achieving a good life for the people of Israel, for the state of Israel, for the Jews, and for the whole world. And it's all up to us. We are the only ones with free choice in the whole world. No, I don't believe. The wisdom of Kabbalah says that this is the method for the revelation of God to every single person in this life, in this world. Revealing, not believing.
Do you pray?
Praying means asking for something good to happen in human relationships. Everything depends on human relationships. There's nothing else to ask for. If people are connected positively and that depends only on the Jews, then we'll have nothing more to ask. Everything will be okay.
Why is this is a curse upon the Jews, that it is our responsibility?
No. Abraham, our father, took from all the Babylonians students. He taught them this method, how to connect. In love your neighbor as yourself. That's the basis of the Torah, of the law. And took them from Babylon. And all those people became the people of Israel. We're not a nation per se. We're not a nation like the rest of the nations. French, Germans, English can all be Jews. I cannot be neither French, nor German, nor English.
I understand. When you see all the wars, there's always a war going on. People killing people. What makes you hopeful?
The ball is in our court. Everything depends on us. If we do it, and I do it every day, I do it with my students all over the world. So we feel how it is possible to influence the world and bring it to something good. Otherwise we'll get to it anyway, but after a lot of trouble.
Do you see this happening?
One way or the other, it will happen for sure. But we're either facing a terrible world war, or we are going to try to present a good example of unity to the world, and the whole world will start treating us favorably, and we'll take an example. And this is possible. I am optimistic.
Have you always been this way?
I wasn't always like that. I was a scientist. I was looking for a meaning in life. Until I discovered it in the wisdom of Kabbalah, also scientifically. And since then, once I tested it on myself, I want to pass it on to others. And there's a part of humanity that gets it from me. But this is possible, because we are dealing with the laws of nature here. It's not God you have to pray to, you have to fear. We are in contact with the laws of nature, and we have to influence them. It's a system that's built that way, that specifically we, because we already had that state of unity, we can influence and bring humanity to the good state. Look, it's all irrational, but even our existence as the people of Israel is entirely irrational. Where do we get these special qualities? Where is all this hatred to us coming from? It's all irrational. So let's look at it scientifically and see that we can change life. Not just life, the world. It's written, you will see your world in your life. Meaning we can discover the upper system and not feel the world just following our bodies, our animal bodies, but according to the human in us, a little higher.
I understand. So this is not faith, this is science.
It's a science. There are books, complicated ones, not simple ones, but there are also easier ones. We develop them. I have a TV channel in Israel, many students, a newspaper. We're known for it. We try to work.
How can I see it? Do I have to go to Israel to see it? Can I see it in America?
No, we'll pass it over to you. We have an internet system, and it's all over the world.
Dr. Laitman, what do you believe happens to us when we die?
When we die, our body dies. And if a person didn't attain through life the one's soul, meaning love and connection to others, this is man's soul, then he's got nothing. As he was born an animal, he'll die an animal.
What happens to the soul?
It waits for you to attain it, to get it.
So it still remains.
Yes, but without any connection to the individual because he wasn't drawn to it.
Do you fear death?
No. Why fear death? Death is only related to this body. There's nothing to it. Just like any animal, any animal, it lives and dies. But within us, there's something that is from outside of us. If I connect to another person in a connection of love, then there's a part of me in that other person. And then if the body dies, I'm already in someone else. I've extended myself and have acquired a part in others, and then I live in them.
Without consciousness, though.
It is consciousness and sensation. These are new tools. I'm inviting you.
I accept. I'd like to learn more. What is the message you would like to say to our viewers? What is the message that Kabbalah is delivering?
Kabbalah says to people that if they unite, as it is written in the Torah, as one man with one heart, love your neighbor as yourself, they will attain the spiritual world here in this life and will be rewarded with a life like heaven on earth, here and now. It's all about the realization of the ordinary people, and first and foremost by the realization, implementation of Jews, first and foremost, the people of Israel. That's why their hatred toward us is justified, and it's coming in order to push us toward that solution.
Can I study you in America?
Yes, of course. I'll get you a TV, we'll get you lessons, we'll work together.
You have a deal. Thank you. That was Dr. Rav Laitman, and I've learned an awful lot. And I salute him, and I will study.